Hello and welcome. My name is Mark Blatstein, the physician founder of Physician Presentence Report Service. Today, I'm going to review. You've been indicted. It's not very flattering. It's probably frightening like nobody's business. But the first thing you're going to need is legal representation, and it needs to be a good fit for you. But I'm going to assume right now that you have a great legal team. So what I'm going to concentrate on is recommendations from federal judges who have been interviewed from coast to coast by an attorney by the name of Alan Ellis, who was past president of the National Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers. Federal Judge Patrick Schultz said that he found surprising how many otherwise competent attorneys punt in the sentencing hearing. And that there he's referencing that when you get into your sentencing hearing, the judge is going to want to talk to you. At minimum, they're going to want to let you to know that they don't want you back in their courtroom again. But this is your time to talk to the judge, and it'll be some sort of opening question. Do you have anything to say? Would you have something to say to me? There'll be some way that he's going to communicate with you. And what was written in the article is that he'll notice that the client looks to the attorney for direction, what to do. That was me. 20 years ago, I had a felony conviction on the surgical side of my practice. I got my medical license back, and I'm grateful for that. But I wasn't prepared. I looked at my attorney. I didn't know what to say. I apologized. But that was really not what the judge wanted to hear. Another federal judge, Robert Scalia, says, don't wait to think about sentencing advocacy, since 99% of one's federal criminal clients will be facing sentencing. Start preparing for your case early on. So here, we assume now that you have a great legal team. It's definitely, if you're paying them, you want to listen to what their recommendations, especially if money is no object. If they're going to go to trial, you go to trial. But if in your gut you know that there is a small part of this that you're guilty at, you want to have that conversation with your attorney, and then you have your first move. You'll know what to do because the Department of Justice has a 98% more or less conviction rate. And so the odds of coming out clean are very small. So I'm going to use Sean Diddy Combs as an example, and he still has a stellar legal team. Today is August 26th. And so everyone thought he had five massive charges going into court. And no one would have thought that his outcome would have been as good as it was. And he had three of the worst charges already against him dismissed, and only two remaining. But those two remaining charges still can give him a lengthy prison sentence. And so there is no guarantees, on any given day what any judge is going to do. You cannot, there's no promises. No lawyer can promise you what any outcome is going to be. No one can promise you what the Bureau of Prisons is supposed to do. I have a conference call coming up where the clients, I guess their husband is in prison, and he has all of his First Step Act credits and his Second Chance Act. Everything is there and it's stacked, and they're not letting him go home. And the thing is that you have the director of Bureau of Prisons, and he has a memorandum that's already, almost a month or two old, telling all the employees of the Federal Bureau of Prisons, which includes wardens and case managers, that these individuals are, if they are eligible for home release, for home early release and home release, that they should have their earned time credits, Second Chance Act credits stacked, and let them, go home. But it's not being done. It's not being calculated, at the level of the prison by case managers. But I deviated. And so he now has two charges left to go back to in sentencing. So once you get into the sentencing phase, the judge has already heard from everyone. They've heard from the prosecutor. They've heard from witnesses. They know that the Department of Justice, they want a conviction. They know the prosecutor wants prison time. The one person they know nothing about is you, if you have not spoken to this point. And so this is your time to have a conversation called an elocution with your judge, and to make as good a first impression if you can. And your preparation for this started long before your pre-sentence interview, with a personal narrative or understanding how you got to this point in your life. So this is your moment where you can influence, possibly, the judge in your favor because judges want to know how you got, what caused you to do this crime. And there are parts of your background that I'm sure they don't know about. And unless you tell them, and unless you have your personal narrative written before the pre-sentence interview, the judge is going to be left to sentence you based on your indictment and your pre-sentence report. And I'm pretty sure these two documents don't explain who you are in the best possible light. I hope you found this helpful. Any questions, please give me a call. My contact information is on the screen. Dr. Blatstein, 240-888-7778. I hope you have a safe day, and thanks for listening.